A lot of what I do, in fact, most of what I do is here on my computer. It's an iMac. I run, let's go to About This Mac. I run Mac right now, Mac OS Catalina, version 10.15.6. All of my applications down here on the bottom. We're gonna have to get a zoom in on that. But I primarily use the Adobe Creative Suite. I use Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, After Effects, Premiere. They all have a different purpose and reason. I'll go through that shortly. Primarily, I work in 3 different pools: consulting, digital, and print. And that allows me to provide a full range of services that cover the spectrum. But it all starts with consulting. I don't believe in obnoxious pricing platforms or anything. I've worked in the industry for a long time, for well over 25 years at least, professionally. I started my own business because I wanted to provide a creative solution that was, as in the old days I used to say, faster, better, cheaper. So that's allowed me to do that for a good number of years, and I'm super excited about doing that. On my website, what I also like to do is provide what's new. I like to show new content, new things, so people can kind of see what's going on, what I'm working on. One of the latest things I did was this creative menu here. I created this to help people see some of the things that I do, some of the things that I work on. So let me walk through it. This is available on my website. Scroll through and it shows you a little bit more about what I do. I'm basically a creative services professional. 99% of the time you're dealing with just me. Actually, I want to say 100% of the time you're dealing with just me, because I've been doing this now for well over 20 years, and it's exactly the same as dealing with a professional advertising agency. You are getting my professional creative experience, but I do work with a team of professionals as I need. I work with printers across the country. I work with marketing groups and social media gurus. I actually do hire interns. I work with interns on a regular basis. I need to do that because that requires, social media in particular requires a lot of time. And timing is really, really important. So, for example, right now, I have somebody working on my social media. Actually, my son. My son's in college, and he does a lot of the posting and promoting and hashtagging and all the other various marketing things that are necessary in social media. So I have him working on that for me simultaneously to my being able to work with companies around the country. I run sort of as a private agency. I don't do a lot of advertising, marketing, and promotion, only because I like to keep it, as my brother-in-law had said before, I work like Batman. I kind of remain kind of quiet and private. That way I can keep my clientele sort of, I call it a short list, between 6 and 12 key clients, and allows me to really focus my energy and attention on their needs and what they do and what they need, so I can really fully understand it. Anyway, this page here kind of lists some of the stuff that I do and how to reach me. About This menu kind of tells you about it. Basically, in a nutshell, it's exploring each page. You can click on samples. This here is the actual full menu in this particular document. Let me be clear. There's probably another 10 to 20 different things that I do beyond this, but these are the general pieces that we work with, and each one of these on this menu is interactive. So for example, if you're interested in infographics, you click on Infographic and you go to the Infographic page. Shows you a few little thumbnail ideas, tells you what they're about. You can click to download samples, tells you how to get back in touch with me. And if you do click on the page number down the bottom right hand corner, it will go right back to the menu page, which is kind of cool, because if you want to poke around PDF slider, you want to go check that out, you can check that out, read about it. It gives you some cool price ranges to give you an idea of what you can charge out on the market, or what I charge you is going to be somewhere in the range, but sometimes less. There are times you want to collaborate together to make some money on some projects with a third-party vendor. I'm happy to have that discussion as well. But anyway, if you click on the page number, you go back to the main menu page. And that's pretty much how that works. At the back of the guide, you're going to see a view creative pricing guide here, where you go back to this here. It's the back section. And this gives you some general ideas on pricing. Cost curves. I created the cost curve to make it easier for people to give them a ballpark and a range from low to high. I think that's the best conversation to get started with. You'd be surprised, though. So you'd think, well, why wouldn't everybody want to be on the low end? But that's not true, because, for example, with a website, usually a website's somewhere in the middle range here, just because there's so much that has to be done with a website. But that's not to say you can't create a very basic low-end website that's real simple and plain. But then there are these larger, advanced enterprise-level websites that require a lot more work. So the solution has to have somewhat of a curve, and that's why I created that curve there. And then I break it down into certain projects, like infographic cost curve. Tell you the difference between a $500 infographic and a $10,000 infographic, because they can range quite a bit. So that's pretty much it. And then at the back, I have menu pricing guide overview, which gives you a breakdown of all the various projects and a price range. It'll tell you the page that it's on if you want to go explore that. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The creative menu. I'm working on other material and content to help people see more about what it is I do and what's available out there, because there is quite a bit.